Hello guys, in this video we are going to see how we create a student schema. So basically, if you are familiar with SQL, in order to maintain the data or records of a student, what we used to do is to create a student table, and then we also have to define the schema of the table. So which fields are there, for example columns, for example name of the student, admission number and things like that. So basically we will learn how we can create it in Mongoose. Okay, so basically backend. So here you can see there is a source folder src, and in that there is an entities folder. So here all the entities of our project will be placed. So for example, here you can see attendance, faculty and student. For now I am focusing on student. So let us see in that folder. Here you can see I have already created a file student model.mjs. Again, mjs is nothing, it is just a JavaScript file, but because we are using ES6 modules here, so that's why we have to name it to mjs. Okay, here is the basic structure of, maybe whenever you will be creating a schema in Mongoose, this is the basic template you will be required. So it is just boilerplate or template. So I'm just importing some things here, and this is the schema function. You will understand what this does, and then we are exporting it. So let me tell you how it works. So for example, we want to model students. So for example, student has a name field and an admission number field. So let's see how we can create it. So this new schema, this is used to create the schema for our student. Okay, we can create any schema, we just name it student here. Okay, so let us create a schema for our student. So it expects an object. So first of all we will pass an object, and then we will pass all the fields. So for example, first field is admission number, the name of the field. Okay, so for example this. Now we need to create another object. So this is the field, and we need to specify the type. For example, this can be of a string or integer or number or date. So we have to define the type as type, and this will be of type, suppose string. Here you can see string, and it also highlighted in green if it is correct. And let us use this for now, and now we can create another field. So for example name, and which will be of type string only. Okay, so let us create one more. For example, we can create marks. I just want to show you one thing, that's why I'm doing it. For example marks, which will be of type, so for example this can be of integer. So here you can use the data type number. So these are nothing but JavaScript data types. Okay, we can also define a date. For example enrolled in, so type will be like this. Okay, so this is just simple example I wanted to show you. What will happen, it will create a schema which has this field and this type. So admission number of type string, name of type string, marks and so on forth. Now we have created the schema. Now we need to, this was the first step. Okay, first we create the schema, then we create model out of our schema. This is the second step. So there is a model method which is imported from Mongoose library. This is the name of model. So here we are creating student. So you can think of it as the name of a table in SQL. In SQL we used to have a tables and schema for a table. So you can see this is the schema, and this is, you can imagine as a name of table. Okay, so for example student table, attendance table, faculty table. So model method, this is the name of table that we want to create in conceptually I am saying. And then the schema. So here we have created the schema, we just pass here, and it will give us student model which we can export and use. How we are using it you will get to see in later videos, but for now you need to understand only this part. Okay, so I have already created a student model. Let me show you a completed code in, just to save some time. Here it is, right? So I can just copying this. Actually I should copy. Done. Now I am replacing this. because I want to show you something. So this is nothing but what I have done earlier. It has few more parameters, like it is of type string and required is true. So this is you know required field now. So in our database, if we try to create a student without admission number, we will not be allowed. So this is basically validation. Okay, so you can set your field as required to true, and unique true means only unique admission number will be allowed. If we try to create two students with the same admission number, then they will not be allowed in a database. So this kind of thing you have to think about, and then you can write it. For example, name is also required, email is also required, password also. So I have created some more field. I want to and enum basically is, so for section we are specifying a type of string, and string can only be ABCD. Okay, so now not extra string like EFG, no, only ABCD value are possible, and by default A section will be possible if nothing is supplied. Great. So you can just take a look at it and get familiar with it.